Canada, it's the land of maple syrup, universal healthcare, and breathtaking landscapes. A country celebrated for its natural beauty and the warmth of its people. We are known for our politeness, our love of hockey, and our progressive values. A nation that prides itself on inclusivity and community spirit, but beneath this idyllic image lies a hidden crisis: homelessness. A stark contrast to the image we project to the world. We see ourselves as a compassionate nation, a place where everyone is taken care of. Yet, thousands of Canadians experience the harsh realities of life without a home. They face cold nights, hunger, and uncertainty every day. This isn't just a big city problem, it's a nationwide issue that affects every corner of our country. It affects small towns and rural communities too, places where resources are even scarcer. The face of homelessness is diverse. Families, seniors, veterans, and youth, all struggling to survive, each with their own story and challenges. This isn't about pointing fingers, it's about coming together to find solutions. This is about understanding the complex factors at play: job losses, mental health challenges, addiction and systemic issues, and a lack of affordable housing all contribute to this crisis. The rising cost of living makes it harder for many to keep a roof over their heads. It's about bridging the gap between perception and reality. Understanding that homelessness can happen to anyone, it's about recognizing the human cost of this crisis, the lives lost and the potential wasted. It's time to talk about homelessness in Canada, to address it with the urgency and compassion it deserves. Hamilton, Ontario was once a bustling steel town. The factories roared, providing jobs and a sense of community. But times have changed. Deindustrialization hit Hamilton hard, leaving many without work and struggling to make ends meet. The cost of living has skyrocketed while wages have stagnated. Affordable housing is scarce. The result? A growing number of people are finding themselves on the streets. Families are squeezed into shelters. Individuals are sleeping rough. Hamilton's story isn't unique. It's a microcosm of what's happening across Canada. Cities and towns, once symbols of industrial strength, are now grappling with the human cost of economic change. Winnipeg, Manitoba. Winters here are brutal. Temperatures plummet and the wind cuts like a knife. Now imagine facing those conditions without a home. For many in Winnipeg, this is a terrifying reality. Winnipeg has a chronic shortage of affordable housing. The wait lists for social housing are years long. Shelters are overcrowded, often filled beyond capacity. Indigenous communities are disproportionately affected, facing systemic barriers and discrimination. The city is making efforts to address the issue, but the need is overwhelming. The cold, hard truth is that in a country as wealthy as Canada, no one should be left out in the cold. Ottawa, our nation's capital. It's a city of politicians, diplomats and tourists. But behind the polished facade of Parliament Hill, a different reality exists. Homelessness is often hidden, tucked away in shelters and encampments. Many think of Ottawa as a government town, a place with stable jobs and a good quality of life. But the cost of living has soared, pushing affordable housing out of reach for many. Families struggle to keep a roof over their heads. Individuals fall through the cracks. Ottawa's story highlights a crucial point. Homelessness doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone, anywhere, regardless of their background or circumstances. Section 5. Halifax's affordability crisis, a city grappling to house its people. Halifax, Nova Scotia, a city known for its maritime charm and friendly people. But even here, on Canada's east coast, a crisis is brewing. The cost of housing has exploded in recent years, driven by a shortage of supply and a growing population. Families are being priced out of their homes. Seniors are struggling to stay in their communities. Students are forced to choose between paying rent and buying groceries. The situation is dire. Halifax's experience shows that the housing crisis is not limited to big cities. It's a national problem affecting communities of all sizes. Section 6. Boom or bust. Homelessness persists. The case of Alberta's cities. Alberta, the heart of Canada's energy sector, experiences cycles of boom and bust. This cyclical nature has profound effects on the lives of its residents. When oil prices are high, the economy thrives, businesses flourish, job opportunities abound, and the streets are filled with prosperity. But when prices drop, the impact is felt across the province. The once bustling streets become eerily quiet, and the economic downturn casts a long shadow. Edmonton and Calgary, Alberta's major cities, have both witnessed this firsthand. These cities are the pulse of the province, reflecting its economic health. Edmonton, once a beacon of economic opportunity, has seen its homeless population swell in recent years. The rise in homelessness is a stark reminder of the fragility of economic prosperity. Job losses in the energy sector, coupled with a lack of affordable housing, have left many struggling to keep up. Families are forced to make tough decisions, often leading to displacement. Calgary, too, has faced similar challenges. The city, known for its vibrant culture and economic opportunities, now grapples with the harsh realities of economic instability. The boom and bust cycle creates a volatile environment, making it difficult for vulnerable populations to find stability. The uncertainty affects not just individuals, but entire communities. This highlights the need for diversified economies and robust social safety nets. By investing in a variety of industries and strengthening support systems, Alberta can build a more resilient future for all its residents. Section 7. Paradise Lost. Victoria's struggle with housing affordability and homelessness. Victoria, British Columbia. It's often seen as a paradise, with its mild climate and stunning scenery. But even in this idyllic setting, a dark reality lurks. The cost of living in Victoria has soared, driven by a hot real estate market and a shortage of rental properties. The gap between the haves and the have-nots is widening. Families are priced out of the housing market. Seniors are forced to choose between rent and medication. Individuals are living on the streets. Victoria's story is a stark reminder that even in the most beautiful places, the housing crisis is real and it's taking a toll. Section 8. Montreal's post-pandemic reality, a surge in homelessness. Montreal, Quebec, a city known for its culture, its food and its joie de vivre. But the COVID-19 pandemic has cast a long shadow over this vibrant city. The economic fallout has been significant, leading to job losses and business closures. The pandemic has exacerbated the existing housing crisis, pushing more people into homelessness. The number of people experiencing homelessness has surged, overwhelming shelters and outreach services. Montreal's situation underscores the need for a robust social safety net, particularly in times of crisis. It also highlights the importance of mental health support and addiction services. Section 9. Vancouver's shadow, a city of extremes. Vancouver, British Columbia, a city of stunning natural beauty, a thriving economy and a booming tech sector. But Vancouver is also a city of extremes. It boasts some of the highest housing costs in North America, making it increasingly difficult for people to afford to live there. The homeless population in Vancouver has been steadily rising. People are being priced out of their homes, forced to live in shelters or on the streets. The situation is particularly dire for those with mental health challenges or addictions. Vancouver's story is a cautionary tale of what happens when the housing market becomes detached from reality. It highlights the need for affordable housing policies and government intervention. Section 10. Toronto, a microcosm of Canada's housing crisis. Toronto, Ontario, Canada's largest city, a bustling metropolis with a diverse population and a vibrant economy. But Toronto is also a city grappling with a severe affordability crisis. The cost of housing has skyrocketed while wages have stagnated. The homeless population in Toronto has reached crisis levels. Shelters are overflowing. Encampments are popping up in parks and under bridges. The situation is dire. Families are being torn apart. Individuals are losing hope. Toronto's story is a microcosm of the housing crisis gripping Canada. It's a complex problem with no easy solutions. But one thing is clear, we need to act now. Section 11, a call to action rebuilding the Canadian dream. This is not just a slogan, but a mission that requires our collective effort and unwavering commitment. Homelessness in Canada is a complex issue with no easy solutions. It affects thousands of individuals and families, cutting across all demographics and regions. But it's a solvable problem. With the right strategies and resources, we can make a significant impact. It requires a multifaceted approach that addresses the root causes of homelessness, not just these symptoms. This means looking at economic, social, and health factors. We need to invest in affordable housing, increase income supports, and ensure that everyone has access to a safe and stable home. Additionally, we must expand access to mental health and addiction services. These are critical components in helping individuals regain stability and independence. We need to challenge the stigma surrounding homelessness and treat those experiencing it with dignity and respect. Public awareness and education are key. We need to hold our elected officials accountable and demand that they prioritize this issue. Policy changes and government action are essential. We need to support organizations working on the front lines to provide shelter, food, and support to those in need. Their work is invaluable and deserves our backing. We can't afford to be complacent. Every day that passes without action is another day that people suffer needlessly. The time for action is now. We must act with urgency and determination to address this crisis. Let's rebuild the Canadian dream, a dream where everyone has a safe and affordable place to call home, a dream that includes all Canadians, regardless of their circumstances. Let's work together to end homelessness in Canada. Together, we can create a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.